listening to Who's Tom and Dick, a weekly podcast with your hosts, Martin Weavers, fighting stage 4 lung cancer, and Patrick Mortimer, living with heart disease. Why not grab yourself a cup of coffee, sit back, and enjoy the chatter as we discuss and share information talking about tough subjects and offering help, support, and motivation with a positive mental attitude.
Morning, Patrick.
Last Christmas, you gave me my heart.
Oh, God.
But the very next day, you gave it away.
Good job we only get Christmas once a year, innit? Did you have a good Christmas?
Pom, 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 pom. Pom, pom, pom.
It'll be lonely this Christmas. Anyway.
What's your favourite Christmas song?
Shakin' Stevens.
Is it?
Snow is falling all around me. Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah, I love it when I was in tune as well.
Not that old chestnut. So what did you do for Christmas?
What did I do for Christmas? I had a nice Christmas dinner and a nice my yearly Christmas log that Wendy makes me.
Can't beat a Christmas
was
log.
Delicious.
Yeah,
and
you stayed at home, didn't
luckily enough, we didn't have too many people round, so I got an end. I got an end with all the ice on.
Do you prefer the end, do you?
Of course, it has more icing on, you see.
Right. Yeah, we stayed at home.
Driving home for Christmas.
That's enough of the Christmas songs.
What's your favourite Christmas song?
I think people have fell out with them.
You said?
I did. I told you, Merry Christmas, everyone, by Shaky.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, we stayed at home. We're in our house for the first time on our own.
Your new house, yeah.
Yeah, not on our own, but yeah. So we really, really wanted it. Natalie's gone away.
Yeah.
To Marrakesh. And Johnny's busy with his other half and all that. So we thought, right, we're going to stay in and we're going to watch silly TV, which we did.
Yeah. And we're not going to mention the football. Don't mention the football.
No, we won't mention football. And then here we are, ready to do our yearly review.
Yes, that's come around quick again.
I know.
12 months have passed and we've had, 52 podcasts.
We have, yeah. But it's funny what you wish for in a year, and then suddenly, some things come true, and then we're going to talk about our current medical situation.
Shall we get that out of the way? Because that's the boring bit, really.
I think some people might be interested in our situations. So you go first. So tell everybody what you got.
Well, as far as the heart condition goes, that's just plodding away as normal. And my CHARI1 malformation in the back of my head, I've got to learn to live with that. I've tried various things. I've got neck exercises to do. But you had to remind me what I got this morning because I'd even forgot what the name of it was. So I'm just trying to forget about it, really, and just get on with things. That's difficult when you've got a headache.
Sorry, remember what it is because I care about you, see?
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I was just trying to forget about it. It's difficult when you get a headache every day or almost every day, and sometimes that gets you down a bit. But, you just have to push on, don't you?
Yeah.
PMA.
Yes, positive mental attitude.
I thought it was a glue. I thought PMA was short for a glue.
No, it's PVA.
That's the one. Yeah, I've got PVA.
Yeah.
Anyway, how are you?
Getting over bronchitis still. I've got this cough still, which keeps going on and on and on and on. And they've told us, all the different medical people, that it will go on. But it's put paid to a few things. I had to stop being Father Christmas.
Yes.
A month ahead of schedule.
Yeah.
I had to cancel a chemo. Which was a pain, but never mind. That's been rescheduled for the next week in the new year. So, but all in all, I've had 4 chemos, and my cancer that I had in my lymph node has now gone down to 2 millimeters.
That's good news. Yeah.
Which is not a lot. And Dr. P now says he feels that he's in control of the cancer rather than the cancer being in control of me. So, I want to say thanks for everything he's done for me this year, because it's been a funny whole year. I was clear, weren't I?
Yeah.
And then suddenly...
Then you had this sort of...
Hiccup
along the way.
Yeah. But as long as I've got that man looking after me, I feel, good. And come February next year, it'll be 3 years.
You went and hid in the cave for a couple of days and forgot about PMA, didn't you?
I did.
You had to give yourself a kick.
I did, yeah. I was being silly, and I thought, no, I try and tell everybody on our podcast, have a positive mental attitude. And I did hide away for a couple of days. But so that's our current medical situations, isn't it, Patrick?
And you're off donuts, I hear, because they don't taste the same.
No, donuts, because of all the tablets I'm on, my mouth tastes of iron, and which you said yours tastes of iron as well. But it's funny, when I got my bronchitis and you got your Chiari 1 malformation,
Yeah.
which is easy for me to say. We were on the same tablets, weren't we?
Weren't we? Yeah, same antibiotic.
Antibiotics, yeah.
Yeah.
It just seems strange to me. Anyway, they haven't done no harm to you, have they?
No, well, I always suck a mint, Martin.
Do you?
If I get
Not a fisherman's friend.
No, not anymore, no. Yeah, if I get that metally taste in my mouth, I always suck a mint.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
And there's quite a bit of sugar in them, though. That's the only thing.
I chew sugar-free gum.
Sugar-free gum.
Yeah, when you get to the end of when you get to Tesco's, to the queue, other shops are available, of course. They have loads of bits of chewing gum up there.
Yeah.
And I look for the sugar-free, and I quite like that because that gives a strawberry flavour, and it's sugar-free.
Well, there you go. I'll have to look for sugar-free mints. I did get some sugar-free sweets from a local shop, and it tasted awful. They were terrible.
There's only one thing wrong with sugar-free sweets.
They got no sugar in them.
Well, that's one thing wrong.
Yeah.
There's 2 things wrong. They give you another thing that make you go to the loo.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, that's fact. That is. It's like the old Canderel stuff.
All right.
Yeah,
that explains a lot.
Yeah, so be careful. Yeah, that's why I didn't come round.
I thought I had trouble with my toilet flushing, but that must have been the sugar-free sweets.
I think so. Yeah. No, that is fact. That is. My wife told me all about that.
Well, let's hope 2025, which is only next week. Let's hope that brings us a good year.
Better health.
A good year.
Better health.
Better health and a good year.
Yeah, and for everybody as well who
We've
listens.
got a lot of guests line up. They seem to be coming in thick and fast now. I mean, I'm not even having to ask people, and I'm getting requests for guests. We've got
and members of the public, aren't they?
Yeah, we've got this author. You're looking at me blank face now. I did send you the details, and I have contacted her, and she said she'd do it in the new year.
I just look blank anyway.
And she's the author of dietary books.
Yeah, I do remember.
Writes for the Telegraph, I think.
Oh, okay.
Sounds very interesting. Yeah. And we've got Harry Hill.
Who sent me a lovely message, didn't he?
Who sent you a lovely message.
When I was feeling a bit down, Patrick video called me, and he said, I've got something to cheer you up. So I said, oh, what's that? And he sent it to me as a message from Harry Hill.
Hi, Martin. It's Harry Hill here. Listen, I'm so sorry that you're not being well, because I was planning to do your podcast, and then you go into hospital, and, we have to put another date in. So look, get well, and when you are well, I'll do your podcast.
That's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sir David Jason.
Oh, that's going to be
first Sir.
Probably one of the best actors in the whole of the country,
without a doubt.
Yeah,
without
and he's coming on our podcast, so that should be
Stephen Fry.
Stephen Fry, Miriam Margolyes.
Yeah. That'll be an X-rated one, I believe.
Yeah, Vernon Kay.
Yeah. So many guests to come on.
Not forgetting Wes Cardy.
Who?
Wes Cardy. You've forgotten him already.
I thought you said, where's your Cardy?
No. He's coming on. He's talking about a DNA journey that he's been on.
That will be interesting too.
Yeah. He gave a sample of DNA and he's found a family.
Yeah.
Which he was looking for. So that'll be quite interesting to talk about. And we're going to be talking about aloe vera. And you mustn't say aloe vera, because she's not called Vera, the lady we're talking to.
No, all right.
All right.
Thanks for warning me. You might have to give me a hint on the day when we do that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we have a review, a catch-up of our 52 episodes?
Yeah.
Now, it's difficult to single out a short number because they've all been good and all the guests should get a mention, really, but we can't mention everyone.
I've actually enjoyed every interview that we've done. Even the ones with you and me I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
They've been good. So
shall we go for...
We'll do an alternative. You do one and I'll do one.
Okay, well, I'm going to go for... Is There Anybody There? Do you remember that one?
Will you tell everybody?
You don't know.
I do know it.
No,
I
you
do
don't.
know it.
No, you know. That's when we talked about...
TJ?
No.
Oh.
No. See, you don't know. That's when we talked about...
I know.
Life after death.
Yeah, we did.
And you had this... or you get this regularly... You feel that your mum is present in the room.
Yeah.
Because you can smell cigarettes.
Mm. And when I ask if she's there, she never answers.
Oh. Right. I wonder why that is. But you definitely can feel a presence.
Yeah, I can. It's weird because nobody smokes in my house. Nobody ever has smoked in my house. But I do smell cigarettes from time to time.
You don't think that could be anything to do with the wood burner, do you?
This is in the summer.
Oh,
I haven't got on in the summer.
Okay. I'll let you have that one then.
Yeah.
But
that was interesting. That was the way.
Which led us on to, and I'm going to step in with another one here.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a chance in a minute. Which led us on to, we said, we'll have to get a medium on the show.
Yeah. Or an
and
extra large.
Oh, come
you kept on saying.
Come on. I said that joke 15 times. You had to come in.
You did.
So we went on to the next podcast, well, a few weeks later, mediums and psychics.
Yeah, that was good. That's in my top 5.
Is it?
Yep.
So it means you only got 4 left then?
Yeah. Well, I thought we would have some that are the same.
Well, I'll let you have another one then. But that was very good because although I don't believe in psychics or mediums, she did make some points that were quite interesting, I thought.
Very good. And I like the way you slipped in and didn't even tell me about the palm reading, which I was just, astonished by, really. Now, I know people could say they look you up on Facebook and all things like that, but I just sat there stunned that everything she was talking about was me. And I know law of averages comes into it, but I thought she was very, very good. And it was just a shame that we was going to go and see her live, weren't we? And that's when I found out I'd got the lymph cancer, which that day. Yeah. And I didn't feel like doing anything that day. So, but we'll have to catch up with her at some point.
I'm sure we can.
Promised us tickets. So, shall I do one of mine now?
Go on then.
Well, my New Year's resolution last year was to get a celebrity on. And we'd done lots and lots of people in the public, and we'd done ourselves as well, talking to each other. And then you wrote to a certain Joe Pasquale, didn't you?
Yeah.
And
good old Joe.
Yeah, and the way he got the letter was fantastic, and we can only thank the postman for all the help he gave us, because we didn't have a proper address, did we?
No.
So
what was the address I put?
To the village he lived in.
The only idiot in the village. No, sorry, I put to Joe Pasquale
and the village
he
cottage.
Lived in. Yeah, the village he lived in.
Yeah, we knew he lived in a cottage.
Yeah,
and the village he lived in. We won't say the village he lived in, so people don't write to him.
I thought it was funny when he phoned you up. And you thought I was phoning you up, or somebody was taking a mickey.
I did, because Joe has got a distinctive voice, and I just thought it was someone taking a mickey out of me, saying it was Joe Pasquale, and then I got straight on the blower to you, didn't I? I said, "You never guess who's rung me."
Hello, Lex, how are you?
Oh, great, thanks, Joe.
Thanks for coming down as
I'm
well
in your
to join
kitchen.
us. Yeah. You are.
It's great, isn't it?
And that was the very first celebrity interview we did, and it started the ball rolling, really, didn't it?
And not only did we do that interview in your kitchen, you went and jumped in his car because he couldn't find it. You went running up the road to find him.
I did.
Opened his door and jumped in. I think he thought he was being kidnapped. Poor lad.
Reverse Joe. And he did, and he followed every instruction to get to my house.
Hello, Martin. How are you? I can't do Joe Pasquale. Can you do Joe Pasquale?
No, I wouldn't even attempt. I know a song now. Get on your nerves.
Anyway,
that's
that was
all
good.
we'll do. But
that was celebrity. Yeah.
And that was in February. So we didn't have long to wait from the January when I made it was in between the New Year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, but no, that was fantastic. Who's next?
You, because I've done 2.
Okay, so I'm going to do my second one. So this is going back a month now, actually. I think the second one we did of the year, I interviewed Dr. Patterson, Dr. Daniel Patterson.
Dr. P, as we called him.
Dr. P now, yeah. And he's my oncologist at the hospital. And do you know what? I learned so much about his history of learning to become the person he is now, one of the top oncologists in the whole of the country. And it was just an insight, because we do our medical stuff. He tells me this and that. And then we do have a little light-hearted little bit at the end of our conversations, mainly about football. And
I was going to say he has got one weakness. One weakness in judgment, perhaps.
Which is?
He supports Ipswich Town.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But
like you, really.
I commend him for that.
Yeah. But no, he's such a nice person. And he honestly cares. The other day he tried to call me, and he couldn't get hold of me on the phone, and he called my wife to see if I was all right. So how good is that? It's the kind of thing that you want from the person who's looking after you.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it for nearly 3 years now, and I thank him from the bottom of my heart. He's fantastic. So, and you learnt a few things from him, didn't you?
I did. One, interview that was quite sort of personal, really, was a guy I used to race with in Mini Challenge years ago, Pete Demant.
Yeah.
That was a real sincere interview, I felt, and had so much in common with you, which shows, I think, just how different cancers affect people, but in a similar sort of way.
Yeah. Well, he hadn't mentioned it to many friends, had he?
No, he listened to our podcast for the first time and he immediately made contact. And I think he said that he hadn't mentioned it to anybody outside the family until he'd listened to the podcast.
Yeah.
So it was great to get him on and, you know, his take on his treatment and how he's dealing with life and his young children and his new children as well.
Mm. It just
was
shows you
quite
how much
inspirational.
a podcast can be inspirational to people, that
Yeah.
they listen to it. And that's why we get people on to talk about their different things, don't we?
Didn't
So-
you find it quite, I don't know, really. I mean, the way I received it was quite, you know, I don't know how I can put it really, but didn't you find it strange listening to him? Because I've almost felt I was listening to you.
It's like an echo
Yeah,
of
it
what
was.
I say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because we had very, very similar journeys.
Experiences and journeys, yeah.
Journeys, and I didn't know the guy. I mean, obviously, like you said, you knew him from years ago. But I feel as if I've become a friend now. He sends me texts, and he sent me a certain film
Yeah.
of you and him crashing
Oh, right.
with your cars.
Yeah, I spent most of the time on the roof, so there you go.
But not only that, he sent me other messages, and I think he sent you the same ones, saying that so many people contacted him after that podcast,
Yeah.
which, you know, is inspirational again, and people will know his journey now, what he's
Yeah.
going through, and people certainly didn't know what he was going through, certainly know now. So,
I don't
yeah.
think, never craving sympathy. You know, it's just nice to have people support you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he's such a, you know, sincere, very nice guy. Very nice guy.
Go on then, what's on your list?
My next one is in June, when it was a lovely hot day, and me and you had a little car journey to Kent.
Oh, yes, I
And we
remember
sat
it well.
in the garden of Cheryl Baker from Bucks Fizz, who won the Eurovision Song Contest in 1981.
Would you like to sing a little bit of that song?
You're making your mind up.
Is that what you do?
Don't let your individual... Something like that.
You don't know the
I haven't
words.
got a skirt I'm going to rip off neither.
Don't know the words. I just, you know.
No, you put me on the spot there, but no, she opened up about the whole of her life with her IVF treatment, having her children, and the coach crash that she had, which could have killed her.
Yeah.
And the whole band, and she was so open about everything, and we had a lovely cup of tea, and even her dog joined in, didn't it?
Can you name the dog?
I knew she had one called Malcolm.
Malcolm.
She did have one called Malcolm when I
had a
first
dog
knew her.
called Malcolm,
She did.
surely.
She did. An
Why would you
Alsatian.
name your dog Malcolm?
An Alsatian called Malcolm.
And got a poodle called Kevin, hadn't she?
No, can you remember the name?
No, I can't.
Oh, I thought he was going to tell me the name.
No.
No, I can't remember the name.
Oh,
but,
okay, no.
yeah, he wanted to join in, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was such a lovely afternoon that, and then we had a leisurely drive home, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, that was a great interview. That was sitting in her back garden. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So, you next.
This is one you've probably got. Being frank about Kelly.
I have.
I thought you might have.
Yeah.
That was a subject that obviously I knew a bit about, but it was an eye-opener as well.
I felt it was for you that when you was listening, you seemed to listen more on that one than talk. I
didn't
thought.
get a word in because you were talking all the time.
Well, it was a subject that I really, really wanted to talk about, and hence contacting Kelly to do it. And straight away I contacted her, and she said yes immediately. You know, once again, it was a hard-hitting subject.
Well, I think it was more hard-hitting because, pardon the pun, he was a boxer and a boxing coach and promoter.
Yeah.
So she grew up in this male-dominated environment, hiding this secret, which must have been, incredibly
horrible to
hard.
hide.
So to come out, again,
And
another
nearly
inspirational story.
Yeah, nearly on TV
Yeah.
with the Big Brother appearance and all that. But no,
Go on, next one.
Well, we've mentioned TJ Higgs, haven't we?
Well, yes, we have.
Yeah. Well, we did because I mentioned about the palm reading, didn't I?
Yeah.
So,
So, what's your next one?
I'll add another one in.
Go on then.
I really enjoyed the Race for Life.
Yeah.
In fact, before we came out today, I listened to it again before before we come out, just so I could get a refresher of what we did. But basically, you did the Race for Life for me, didn't you?
I did.
And Shelley,
I'm not
Shelley
quite
Baxter.
sure how I got roped into that.
Yeah,
You rang me
I
up
think
and said, "Oh, we're going to be the faces of the Race for Life." I said, "Oh, that's great."
Yeah, you never mentioned you were going to do it.
I'm not going to do it because I'll get out of breath. You said, "Would you like to do it
Yeah,
on my behalf?"
yeah.
For me?
And you immediately said,
Yes, I will.
no, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
38 million Race for Life has raised this year.
Wow.
So it just shows you, not just the Bury one that we did, but all over the country. So it just shows you all the things that, you know, the money and the research that it can do.
That
which-
amazes me in these hard times, you know, that people still give generously,
Yeah.
you know, because these charities are having hard times as well.
Yeah, because early in the new year, I'd like to talk about some of the latest research for lung cancer, which I've just recently been interviewed on Greatest Hits Radio.
Yeah.
And I'd like to do that. That's very interesting. And I wish it was out nearly 3 years ago when I first found out I'd got lung cancer, because what they're doing now is fantastic. And it's all through cancer research
Yes.
and the money they got. So, but that's for another podcast, that is. But I just found that the people on the Race for Life, it was sad because some of them had lost somebody, or they knew somebody going through cancer, but they were also very happy.
That inspired them to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
push on. Yeah.
And I went round with Wendy, helped me and all that, you know, your other half, and we went round sort of talking to different people, and her and Linny were spotting different people we could go and talk to. But I just spoke to everybody, you know, the medics that were there, who people probably they forget about the people sitting there.
That was quite an interesting one when you interviewed that 10-foot high girl
I know.
who was on stilts.
I know.
I don't quite know how you got the microphone up to her, but there you go.
Well, it was on a wand kind of thing, and she bent down, and yeah, she was a lovely girl. She was. That was really good. So
Next one.
that's it for me. That's me. Can't you count?
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I've got.
How many more have you got?
That's difficult when you got 52.
Yeah. I've done 6.
Do you remember the drug dealer? That was an episode where we talked about all our drugs.
And we did
the
the
cost.
costs, and we did the my
The
top 10.
rundown, top 10.
Yeah.
And the pronunciations were quite interesting.
For you. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I enjoy. It's funny. We sit here and we have a laugh together, but we actually cracked up laughing at some of them, didn't we?
know.
I found that was one of the
I
funniest
seem
episodes.
to have, I don't know why, I seem to have difficulty pronouncing words now. I never used to. But
Well, you
I
mentioned
do
it in an
nowadays.
episode about being the tablets you're on.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether it's that or the Chari 1 malformation having an effect, because
You're getting good at that one, though.
Well, yeah, because that can have an effect on all sorts of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do struggle sometimes saying some of these words, whereas years ago I'd just reel them off without thinking about it.
Well, in your day-to-day work and life, there must have been bigger words that you've said at times and never even thought about it.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it's a
of a
thing that,
struggle.
yeah. So have you made a New Year's resolution?
Well, I was going to make a resolution that no more jokes of the week. But I believe you've got
Well,
a
you
few...
know that's not going to happen because the
believe-
viewers love it.
Yeah, and the trouble is, you nicked a few Christmas crackers from the Sport and Memories Christmas
did.
party. I noticed you putting them in your bag.
I didn't.
Thought,
Andy
oh, no, I know where they're going.
Andy Reid put them in my bag and said, if you need any jokes for the podcast, here's some. But I'm going to talk about my New Year's resolution first.
Okay,
I'm going to keep the listeners in suspense before I get to my jokes.
Yeah.
So my New Year's resolution, we've had a very, very good year, viewing figures wise, not viewing, but listening figure wise. And I thank everybody who's listened to the podcast and please spread the word. But we got to number 12 in the Apple podcast charts.
We did.
And I thought, wow, what? You know, we started this off in hospital when I was really, really at my lowest. And to get to number 12, I mean, we saw the progress. I think you sent me, we're number 32, and then we was number 24. And then the next week we was number 12. And I was saying to Linny, I really, really hope we can get in the top 10. But we didn't. So my New Year's resolution is I'd love us to get in the top 10.
The only way we can do that is to spread the word.
Yeah, so everybody spread the word. Who's Tom and Dick?
You have to like us on Apple Podcasts. That's the thing, not just listen. You have to go and like us.
Right,
And,
you know more about that side than me.
We move up or down the charts, whichever the case may be.
Yeah.
But I still think we're in the top 80 or 60, something like that. So,
good. Yeah. But there is one other thing, because I thought, I can't control that.
Oh, this is another resolution,
This is another New Year's resolution.
You can control it. You can do better jokes. That would help.
Don't keep on about my jokes.
You had some nice jokes. You get...
Well, I've got some fantastic ones now.
Oh, no.
But anyway, my other one.
You're realistic.
Yeah. When my mum sadly passed away, the air ambulance came to her assistance and all that, which sadly... they couldn't do any help for her, but I'd love to go to where the air ambulance comes from and talk to them and hopefully talk to a pilot if they're not going out there. So that would be one of my things for next year.
Well, I do happen to know somebody who's involved with the air ambulance, so I might have to tap them up.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Oh, that'd be my New Year's resolution
Hopefully
done.
We can fill that wish.
What about you? Have you made any resolutions for the podcast?
Not really. I always think about them and then they sort of just fade into insignificance for some other reason.
Yeah.
But I think what I'm going to do this year is after Christmas is over and we go into the new year, and I count now as still being Christmas until New Year's Day, and then that's over as far as I'm concerned. Might try and control me food intake a little bit more.
Right.
A little bit more healthy because I've been a bit naughty recently.
Yeah.
And also get a little bit more exercise in to see if that helps with my headaches and things.
Well, you walk daily.
I do, but I don't do as much as I could. So, new year, new
You.
me, new me.
That's right, yeah.
I can't do anything about my body because that's perfect. But and my looks. Do you remember Mr. Motivator?
Yes.
He said, wake up every morning, look in the mirror, say hello, beautiful,
And so you do
have
now.
a beautiful day. And
And you're such a liar, though, aren't you?
I've taken the mirror off the wall. I've got a mirror in my bathroom now.
Yeah, that's right.
No, so so there you go. That's a New Year's resolution as well, in a way.
Yeah, he was very inspirational, actually, Mr. Motivator, wasn't he? With all these little tips he gave to people for us to give to
And
people.
he started his very own podcast.
Yeah.
So I'll have to tap him up a bit going on there, won't I?
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, we can go on his.
Yeah.
So, are you ready for me joke of the week yet?
I was trying to put it off. Go on then. Are you going to have one or are you going to read a few of these out?
I normally try and do a story one, don't I? So I haven't got a story one, but I've got several little ones today. So there's only about 3 or 4.
Go on then. I'll let you tell your joke of the week.
So these are out of Christmas crackers. So a man who died after being hit by a tennis ball has been buried. His long-suffering wife told reporters after this morning's funeral it was a lovely service. I like that one.
That's quite good for a Christmas cracker joke.
Yeah, I know. The other one, due to the current water shortage, the council has closed 2 lanes of the local swimming pool. That actually won the joke of the day, but I think the tennis ball one was better.
Yeah.
Congratulations to the Great Britain Olympic sunbathing team. They got a bronze.
We're getting a few chuckles.
Yeah. And very proud to...
Hang on a minute.
There's only 2...
Is that print big enough on there?
so I can read it. I don't know who printed these. I didn't. I was just given them.
The letters are about an inch tall.
I know, but I was just given them by Andy.
Oh, right.
So very proud to have just finished my 7th marathon in 7 days, or Snickers as they're now called. And the last one, this will please you. Why didn't the skeleton want to go to watch Ipswich play? Because he didn't have any guts to go.
Oh, I knew that was coming. I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
So I won't chuckle at that. You threw the
And that's the only mention of football we're going to mention. So,
yeah.
so that's it for another year, Pat.
Well, hasn't that gone quick?
I know. It's been a brilliant year. I want to thank you, mate.
And you?
It's been been nice sitting here talking to you and doing all our interviews together.
We've held it together, haven't we?
Yeah,
Through thick and thin.
we have. And I really never thought, well, you mentioned about a third season.
Who's next? Who's next?
Who's next? Well, we're going to go up to...
No. Who's next?
Go on.
Arrows.
Oh, yeah.
Next week.
How could we forget
only
about that?
got Bobby George. That's the Statton, you see.
Yeah.
We've only got Bobby George,
Mr. Bling.
the world champion darts player.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't well. He's runner-up twice. He wasn't quite world champion.
Right, okay.
Poor old Bobby.
You've
but,
just knocked him off a pedestal for me.
Yeah, well, he's won several big titles, the Butlins ones and all that as well. So, which was like the World Championship back in the day.
What about Embassy?
Embassy?
when does
No,
that
that
break?
wasn't around then.
Wasn't it?
No, it was the BDO that he was in.
But I
where
was
he ca-
quite surprised that he was the one that introduced darts to the walk-ons
Yeah,
with all the music. And
yeah.
he used to walk on to Gary Glitter,
Do you want to be in my gang?
which he had to rapidly change
Yeah.
to
We are the champions.
We Are the Champions.
And he walks on with the candelabra and all his necklace. But did you notice he didn't have a single necklace on when we interviewed him?
They were in the safe. He weren't going to trust. He weren't going to trust us with them, mate. I tell you.
I really would have loved to play darts, but he doesn't play darts now. He just does talks and all that. But
He turned you down.
yeah, but I think we're going to have to go back to see him again another day because he told us, he said, I could talk to you boys for another 8 hours, didn't he?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, that's all coming up at the beginning of the new year.
And the first 18 X-rated podcast.
Yeah, because there's a couple of little
Beeps in it.
beeps need to go in there.
Yeah.
Will you put them in?
No, I won't.
You just put a disclaimer.
I shall make it an X-rated one because that takes the fun out of the interview.
Yeah, because
So-
otherwise it'll be natural as you put it round, won't it?
Yeah.
So
But it'll be a first. It'll be a first for us. First in the new year. And of course, we won't forget that you had to give up ho, ho, ho.
I did.
Father Christmas, didn't you?
I did.
That
yeah,
was sad.
just for me health, really.
You did get a couple in.
I done half of it.
Did you?
Yeah, I'd done half of it. I meant to do it for 2 months, and I was
I was quite surprised that they let you work with children in the first place.
I got my what do they call it now? The bit of paper you have to have.
Certificate?
Not a certificate.
Fine?
DSB.
DSB?
Yeah, that's right. DSB.
To allow you to work with children.
That's right. Yeah.
And you did steal a beard,
Well, you don't steal them; they let you keep them.
do they? Did you
Yeah.
have white gloves or black gloves?
Well, I kept the gloves. Yeah. Well, then once again, you're wearing them on your palms. I had white gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? The funny thing is, with the sweat, and you're wiping they've gone pink. So I need to put them in some whitener. So yeah, so hopefully I can go back to that next year.
Next year.
That's
Yeah.
the idea of it all.
Good.
So
Well, that's
yeah.
it, mate.
That's it
the
for-
end of 2024 for us.
bring on 2025 and healthier times for us both.
Yeah.
And for everybody that listens. And we thank you all. And thank you everybody who's been interviewed on Who's Tom and Dick in 24.
Well, I hope you've all had a happy Christmas, and we, from Tom and Dick, wish you a very happy New Year.
Ditto.
Don't get drunk. Look after yourselves.
Yep.
Stay safe.
We will, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, mate.
Have a good New Year, everybody.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Bye.
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 You've been listening to the Who's Tom and Dick podcast with your hosts, Martin Weavers and Patrick Mortimer. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the show on Apple, Spotify, or your favorite streaming platform. New episodes are available every Friday. Thanks for tuning in.